Leanne, unscripted question, because Leanne had her daughter, Courtney, go through the program as well. I haven't caught up with Courtney for a while. Any feedback that you've heard at all about how she's going as a result of going through the session?
Well, for somebody who hadn't had an office job again, I put her through the course. She was wanting to go out and have an office job. She worked in coffee shops. She was a makeup artist. Yeah. She's had a few jobs. Can you think, Kaz?
Yeah, a few. She's on the right track now.
Yeah. So she finally decided that she was going to get her shit together and actually go and get a real job.
Yeah.
So she's working for an AV company. And for somebody that's basically just come out of diddly-doddly jobs and things like that, she actually walked in with the skill set of this email, and they just thought she was amazing. And I know she's actually trained her two directors now of the company that she works with. And she doesn't miss a thing, and they're just amazed by her skill set. Yes. For somebody that they said, okay, come on board while it's quiet. Yes. We'll sort of like, we'll train you, we'll work with you. And I think that is definitely switched, and it's just due to her understanding email and actually keeping them on the toes so that she looks good. She looks great. Yeah.
It's a highly underestimated skill set. When you think about companies are recruiting people all the time, but do they ever ask them or test them on their email competency? Have you ever seen it in a job interview? Just doesn't come up. And yet how much of their work is going to be done in that space, working with email, keyboard, mouse? But
you're right. You do a typing test, you do an Excel test, you do an everything test, but sort of like not with the competency of email at all.
Yeah, and it's and particularly for senior levels, where you're going to be handling a large volume of information and data and communication. How much more important is it for senior roles, not just EAs and admin and support staff? But it amazes me that the question never comes up. In fact, a good friend of mine, Andrew Castle, said you should go to the unions and get it written into the award that you have to have this standard of email competency before you can even be employed in the industry. I thought, wow, I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that's a thought. But for something that we use all day, every day, very few people have had any sort of decent training on it. It's usually you learn how to send, receive, and file, and the rest of it we just learnt by trial and error or a tip from a friend or something you might hear. But there hasn't been a fully organised program to structure the whole way you use this. Not just to use the tool, but to use the tool to get what you need to achieve done and to keep it under control.